All right, y'all. What's going on? What's up? Here we go. Yo, Marcus Bell, James G. What's up, man? Feel like it's been a minute. It's been about 3 or 4 days since the last live. So I said, let me go ahead and play the music. We can play the theme and let it run through because it's been a while. You know, anything past 2 days sometimes feels like, oh man, I've been away too long from y'all. Because we always got something to talk about over here. Something's always going on, especially as of lately, man. I just had to get my thoughts on a lot of stuff after this past fight weekend, man, because you got fighters acting crazy. Fighters and fans right now. Fighters and the fans are really acting crazy. I'm used to it. I'm really used to it when it comes to being a boxing fan. Like people think MMA fans are bad. I think really they're about the same because you got boxing fans always going to war for fighters that don't even know they exist the same way MMA fans will do. I think MMA fans they come at it a little bit different, but it's pretty much um, the same the same type of emotion show, right? So yeah, I wanted to talk about the whole situation with all of all these people that you see up here. We're gonna talk about Amanda Nunes and her retiring, and how some people are like backtracking now on her retiring. People used to want her to retire, but now that she has, it's like now she should have gave Pena a third fight, or she's running from Pena. I don't understand. Like she came back, got some get back, and she's moving on now, right? I want to talk about that, and we got to talk about some of the delusion with your favorite fighters out here. Like I love watching these fighters fight, but sometimes you just got to be like, yo, what are y'all talking about? Juliana Pena, Valentina Shevchenko is like, what are y'all talking about? And they can't get mad. They can't get mad because they're talking. So we talk about them, right? When Pena says something crazy, when Valentina says something borderline delusional, it's getting us to talk, right? And that's your promotion. That's your promotion. We're going to talk about it, whether people like it or not, or agree or disagree. You want us to talk about it. That's why you said it, right? Same when I say something, people comment and they agree or disagree, right? So that's just how it goes. And that's why I feel like, hey, they say something and I'm a fan of the sport. I can address it if I want to, right? I can talk about it. Same way they talk about other fighters. So I want to talk about that too, man. I want to talk about these MMA fans, man, like sending death threats. Like, what's going on? I mean, this ain't new, but what's y'all's problem? You gotta talk about these fans out here, man. They're getting on fighters' last nerve and mine too, man. I don't get them. I just don't get them. Too emotional. What else? Oh yeah, the featherweight division. We gotta talk about this featherweight thing, man, because it seems like Dana White's gonna retire this division. And to me, it's up to the fighters to speak up. It don't seem like too many fighters have hit the fan and said, "Yo, don't don't you dare retire this division." I haven't heard anybody, like even Norma Dumont. She want to fight for this belt. Has Norma Dumont hit her Twitter or anything? Has she said anything? So I want to talk about that too, man. Let's see. Dejan said, "Who do you think is going to be champion at 135 now?" I think it's up in the air really right now, man. I think Pena could get it. I think I think Rocky could get it. Holly Holm, she could very much well become a two-time champion after almost 7 years. It's really open because nobody really stands out like that. Um, I don't know if Irene Aldana will get it though. Irene, I don't know. I think Rocky, Holly, or Pena might get it first. I think we just seen like how Irene levels up, and it's scary, man, because she she didn't do much of anything. You know what I mean? Like she was never in, she never had her moments in that fight. So I don't think I think Irene would probably be the one I say wouldn't be champion, but it's really up in the air between Holly, Pena, and Pennington right now. And from there, I don't really think anybody keeps it. James said GDR coming back. Yeah, she's coming back sometime this summer, right? Yeah, she's pushing about 40 now, so we'll see what's up with her. Her and Holly might rematch one day. Robot Chickens, what's going on, man? He said, blessings. You kind of hope everything's well. Yeah, everything's going all right, man. Just been kind of busy. But yeah, we back. James G said, I think we all collectively agree on closing on 45 and opening up 105. I mean, at this point, I really wouldn't mind if they did close featherweight. I mean, it's on the fighters to speak out because I'm getting kind of tired of speaking out and they're not speaking out. You know what I mean? Like the fighters, they haven't really said anything. You know, overall, like they haven't really said, they haven't posted on social media or posted up or tagged Dana and said, yo, keep this division alive, right? So if it closes, I mean, whose fault is that? Really, you know? Marcus said, remember, I'm a GOAT because I'm a warrior. Right. And in the same sentence, you the greatest fighter, right? She ain't catch that. Yeah, the belt's definitely going to jump back and forth. Can Myra Buena Silva become champion if she finishes Holly? Ooh, if she finished Holly, I think she'd have a chance. If she finished Holly, she might have a chance. Like, who's striking do you think is better? Do you think Myra Buena Silva's striking is better than Juliana Pena's? That's a question right there. What do y'all think about that? Who's striking is better, MBS or Pena's? If Pena gets it, I think Holly beats her. Yeah, we still haven't seen that matchup. That would be a good matchup. I think Holly would win that fight. If Pena fought Aldana, I would pick Pena. But the Holly fight, I would always pick Holly. You know, I've always thought that style would favor more Holly. But yeah, I don't know. MBS, her striking might be a little bit better than Pena's though. Like she's constantly improving and working on it. All right. So looking at Amanda Nunes now that she's retired, man, like it just seems like everybody's kind of mad because it's like it hit them all of a sudden. But to me, like before this, like everybody was like, yo, you need to retire. You know, a lot of people were like, she's done it. She's been there, done that. There's no reason for her to stay around anymore, right? So everybody was singing that song before this fight. Shoot, some people were thinking she should retire after the first Pena fight when she lost. They was like, oh, she ain't got it no more. She need to retire. But now it's like, now that she's, you know, now that she came back, got a win over Aldana, and she announced it on her terms. It was just kind of out of nowhere. You know, now people are getting mad. You know, now they're like, oh man, now, hey, you were supposed to fight Pena a third time. Are you running from her? Like, what's going on? Like, why ain't you fighting her? You know, why you just leaving just like that? And you know, even other fighters, like for the most part, the fighters that are thinking logical and the ones that respect her, they believe that she's doing the right thing. You know, like the fans that know her resume and been following her for the longest time, they know Pena's doing the right thing. I mean, Nunes is doing the right thing. But yeah, I think for the most part, we can say Pena's like the one thinking that she's just running scared. But I don't really think it's that. I don't really think Nunes has anything to prove or feels like she has to go back in there a third time. Like that's not even a chapter that needs to be closed. I mean, yeah, they went 1-1, but when you've gotten to this point and you've left off with the last fight and you're double champion, you pretty much call the shots, right? You can pretty much call the shots. I think Amanda's just doing the right thing, and I think it comes down to people wanting. Some of these people, they just want the fighters to lose. You know, as much as people fans always make the argument that fighters need to leave when they're on top. A lot of people don't really believe that. They want to see fighters lose. They never want to see. That's how it always seems. They always want to see him lose. You know, like when Floyd Mayweather retired undefeated, people can't appreciate that. They still keep saying, "Oh, he didn't fight nobody," or "Oh, he's running from so and so." No, the guy just was a good, skilled fighter, and he was smart enough to know when to get out. See, the difference is Amanda. She's faced some losses in her career, but she always bounced back. She's faced the best competition in WMMA, faced the best fighters. All the divisions had to offer, and won some, lost some, came back, and that comes to a point where it's like, what else is there to do? What else is there to do now? James said it keeps cutting out for me. Is the audio cutting out for y'all? James, he said it keeps cutting out. Or you mean the audio? Anybody else is having trouble with the audio, or can they hear me? Let me know how the audio sounds. Well, I'll double check it on my end too. Hold on. Because I don't. Okay, yeah. I can hear it on my end. Okay, Marcus said it's fine on his end. Okay. Yeah, so when you get to a certain point in your career, it's like when you reach a certain pinnacle, it's like, why do you have to keep on going? Zaman says Nunes doesn't want hard fights anymore. I mean, why would you? When you've been there, done that. I mean, that's just the way you say that is basically saying it's time to retire, right? That means it's time to retire. If you don't want hard fights anymore, it's time to retire, right? You've had hard fights your whole career. It's time to retire. So basically, you're saying the same thing I'm saying, is that when you're done, there's nothing else to prove, you retire, right? And if you're not going to get up for hard fights anymore, why stick around and lose? And I think that's where a lot of people, they want to see. They want to see somebody fall off and lose. It's like when Lennox Lewis fought Vitaly Klitschko. It was his toughest fight towards the end of his career. Some people try to say he was losing the fight, but he won the fight by stoppage. They had to stop the fight because Vitaly Klitschko, his face was about to come off. Some people had him ahead, I think. But for the most part, Lennox Lewis was still doing a lot of damage. But after that fight, Lennox Lewis said, "I'm done," because he felt it in himself that this is getting harder. This is getting tougher. So after that fight, he retired and he never came back. And that pisses some people off because it didn't go the way they wanted. But to me, that's respect. You retire as the champion and you know when to call it quits. It takes guts to do that, and I think the same thing can be said for Amanda. Amanda, you said took off the Wi-Fi. Okay. Same thing can be said for Amanda. Amanda's in that same situation. She fought Irene Aldana, a new look. She didn't want to fight the third fight with Pena. And, well, it was going to happen. It was probably going to happen except Pena's rib injury. But she, for the most part, preferred this fight. She prepared. She trained. She rose to the occasion. And I think when it came down to the fight being that easy, and now you see, that's the thing too. Like, I can't really say that she doesn't want hard fights anymore. I think it gets to a point when the fights are getting easy. You know what I mean? Like when the fights are this easy, why stick around? And maybe she had plans to stay if the fight was tough or if she lost. But for the most part, when she saw how Irene didn't have much to offer for her, she was probably like, "Hey, this is it. We're going to call it quits. This is how it's going to go." And again, sometimes it's better it goes that way. It's better it goes that way than going out, getting beaten up and barely making it out. At least this time she said, I prepared 100%. And if the opponents can't rise to the occasion, then this division has nothing to offer for me anymore. I'm gone, Nobody's really doing anything for me, so I'm gone. As Eileen said, Nunes is a step ahead, Father Time. Smart to leave. Yeah, smart to leave at the top. That's just what it is. Just leave it at the top of your game. She's 35, a double champion. You see, DC made that mistake. DC was a double champion. And in my mind, I kept saying DC needs to go ahead and retire. Don't give Stipe that chance. Stipe wound up beating him 2 times, right? And of course, after that, he retires. But he could have retired a double champion. So Amanda's just making the right moves for herself. Like, she can go home feeling better that, hey, I did avenge that loss to Pena. I've got the best resume in WMMA. I've got the best wins. No matter how much you question the Valentina fights, I still got W's over her 2 times. And no matter how mad Pena gets, I still own the last win, right? So in a lot of ways, that's satisfying for her. That's satisfying for Amanda. And it's weird, man. It just pisses a lot of people off right now. Like, mostly these two fighters here. Like, they take it to the point where she's not a good person and this and that. She's scared. Pena's also trying to say she's the better fighter. Whatever they got to say to help them sleep at night, But I think when it all comes down to it, we know what's being done. Not what's being said, but what's being done. Amanda, her trash talk ain't the hippest, but her fighting skills are undeniable. Fighting skills are undeniable, and it's proof in the performance of Valentina. She had to show her respect. Again, Pena's the only one that got that shocking win as of recently. Well, Kat Zingano and all them did, but I mean, as of recently, when it really, really counted to these fighters, Pena did get that victory. But, man, it came back and got it. You can't argue that. Decision, stoppage, whatever. She got the solid win. Yeah, Robot Chick said, what hard fights? Nunes beat everyone already. It's all rematches at this point. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't think it really comes down to her wanting hard fights anymore. I think it's the fact that they're all easy. You know what I mean? Like, they're all easy. Even the hard fights ended quick. The Cyborg fight, the Ronda fight, the Tate fight, the Holly fight, the GDR fight recently, it was a cakewalk, it was kind of a cakewalk. So I just think that she's more bored than she is fearful of losing to anybody. You know what I mean? And to me, boredom is worse than fear. Boredom will probably be worse than fear when you fight, because when you're bored, you really won't prepare your best. I think when you fear something, you make sure that you're prepared to the best of your ability. When you fear something, you are like a cornered animal, like a caged animal. You're scared. So to avoid dying, you prepare 100%. But when you're bored, like some fighters get bored, they start acting, they start playing basketball and doing other things, playing other sports. They start doing all this other stuff when they get bored. Like Lennox Lewis, he was getting bored towards the end of his career. He was doing some acting. What was he in one of them Ocean's 12 or Ocean 11's movie? Fought Vitaly Klitschko, almost lost. And that's when he said, I'm done. I'm hanging it up, So Amanda doing a lot of things now is saying, I'm going to come back one time and fight. And if the fight doesn't really entice me to keep me around, I'm going to leave. Kareem, what's going on? He said, letting it fly tonight. Yeah, I'm just talking, man. I'm just stating what's the obvious about her. You know what I mean? Like, there's really no reason for people to get mad or get salty. And I'm including Valentina and Pena in that conversation, about Amanda. It's not like they didn't know this was coming. Like, they know she's done so much. And that just kind of shows you that they kind of overlook what she was doing. I mean, you can't let your feelings get ahead of you. You still have to understand, like, Amanda was one of the best fighters. one of the best champions. And that time was coming. That time was coming. She's done so much. So, you know, they just have to move on from here. James G said Julia Avila, Kayla Harris, and Abs Lad were all supposed to be the next up and comers to fight her, but they all took L's. Yeah, Julia Avila, she took an L to Sarge, I believe. And now she's been out pregnant. Kayla, she got whooped by Pacheco and Aspen Ladd. Oof. Aspen Ladd just took a different direction. At least Felicia Spencer did get her chance, but you know she's gone now too. Yeah. Zama City Shevchenko's petty. It's a blessing we now have a classy champion Grasso. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy talk going on, man. Even though Rocky's deserving, having her fight Pena next is depressing. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like it. I like Rocky. She's been around. She deserves it. But yeah, it just kind of shows you where we're at in the division right now. Like we're back with the same. We're back with the same fighters, right? That's why they're signing a lot of bantamweights. They signed like 4 or 5 new bantamweights. They're trying to rebuild this thing. And let's see if Rush and Ronda can get down to 135, right? Yeah, it's arrogance. Yeah, it's arrogance, Kareem. He said, yeah, she's bored. Yeah, that's what I think it is. It's just boredom. It's not fear. Well, it's not cowardice. Like some people think Nunes doesn't want to stick around for a butt whoop. And I'm like, she's already been there before. She's been humiliated. And she's come back from it. So why would she be scared of that? I think she's just to a point where she's just bored, you know? Yep, Nunes' daughters. Yep, you know how I like to call it. That's Nunes' daughters right there. they and they better behave themselves. Man, already, you know, some daughters they take the punishment a little bit better than the others, but either way, they've been punished. They better go to timeout. Ms. Eileen said, "Where is Santos and Suarez?" Suarez is fighting Verna Genderoba. That's her next fight. And Santos is training for what I do not know. She's been on Instagram training. I'll probably post a video of it when I get a chance. But Tatiana has got Verna Genderoba coming up August 5th. That's going to be a good fight. That was a fight I asked for too. And we've been blessed with that fight. We also been blessed with Silva and Lee, another fight I asked for. Let's see if I get another fight that I asked for. I got Wayley Lemos. I got Verna Suarez. I got Silva Lee. Let's see if we get Manone and Blanchfield next. That's the 4th fight I asked for. Let's see if we can get that one. I could go 4-0 this year. I'll go 4-0 with all the fights that I asked for. Karine and Marina Moreau, that's a good fight too. That's coming up next month. Karine ready, boy. GDR has wins all over them too. Yeah, GDR's beat Holly. Did she beat Rocky? I know she beat Pena. I actually picked GDR to beat Pena by stoppage, but I didn't see that submission coming. But yeah, what else here? Yeah, so Amanda, I think, is doing the right thing. You know, Amanda's doing the right thing. There's no need to stick around. There's no fear there. You know, there's no ducking a third Pena fight. I think it's more so of a mindset that I want to move on and do something else. I've accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish, and that's it. That is it. But Pena, let's talk a little bit about Juliana Pena here. Like, I like Juliana Pena's heart and her tenacity. But man, this girl is talking. She's kind of reminding me of like Ricardo Mayorga right now in boxing. Ricardo Mayorga. Who else? It really reminds me of him from boxing. You know, the guy just likes to run his mouth and he fights. But you know, he's kind of one-dimensional. He smokes before fights and all of that. But she just got that rowdy attitude like him where she just be talking and talking. And I think it's just funny, man. Like it's kind of gotten to the point of not just promotion, but just like almost silliness. And you see other fans talking about it now. Like I'm talking about hardcore Pena fans. They got to be open and be like, yo, she's doing too much right now. Especially like it's one thing when Nunes retired and announced it and she was kind of booing and she wanted to storm the cage. Okay, that's how fighters do. You know, she has some tension there, she felt robbed of a potential third fight. Okay, I understand that. But when you just start denying Nunes's resume and who's the better fighter at this point, or like start calling yourself the greatest, you got to think, come on now. Like now we just know you just now we just know it's just all talk now, right? Robot Chicken said Pena puts her name in the hat. She's one of the best that knows how to market herself. I can see Rocky getting past for being too quiet. Yeah, that's the thing. Like she knows how to talk. Yeah, but it's like I think it's borderline like not borderline delusional. It is in some a lot of ways. And fans, I'm not sure if MMA fans are gonna buy it enough to see her lose, where they just like completely ignore her. Cause like you got even other fighters talking trash about her now, like saying, man, you done been 50-45 by Nunes. What are you talking about? How can you be great? You know? But this is what she said in this recent interview. Let's see, the greatest female fighter of all time, according to me, is me. And yeah, okay, you have to think that way. You have to think that way. There's some parts of me that says, okay, you have to have that type of you have to have confidence, but you also got to be a realist too. To get better, you have to be a realist. Because some fighters say, hey, I don't see myself as the greatest. I got more things to do. You know, you ask some of those fighters in their prime, like some champions, even in boxing, they really won't say, oh, I'm better than so and so yet. It'd be like, I'm still working, still trying to do what I got to do. Maybe towards the end of their career, they'll change up their tone and then they'll understand, okay, I've done what I needed. But I still feel like Pena still got a long road ahead of her. I mean, she has touched the belt, but getting names on her resume like Amanda's, getting that type of, that real tantalizing resume, that one that just sparkles. She's got names, but not like this, So let's see. She said, you want to know why? Because I'm a fighter. I'm not a fighter. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior that lives inside and there's a difference. Amanda's a fighter. I'm a warrior. I'm the greatest warrior. I'm the greatest fighter of all time. I thought you said you weren't a fighter. Wait, and I believe that with my heart because I never stopped coming. You're going to have to put me to sleep or knock me out. So that's the thing. Like, then you can't be the greatest female fighter because Amanda's the fighter and you're the warrior. And yeah, there's a difference. I think you have to have a warrior spirit, but you also have to have a fighter IQ in there, right? And to be able to touch that belt again, you're going to have to clean it up and be a better fighter. And this is just common sense talking, you know what I mean? Like, she's just talking. Like, I understand she's just promoting herself, but, sometimes I just have to kind of give my thoughts on how I see it over here and just acknowledge what some of these fighters are saying so fans don't get it twisted. Like when it comes to it, Amanda Nunes, she understands that there's more to just being, a warrior. You have to be a fighter if you want longevity. Like you could go in there head first and not stop coming at a fighter, but what happens when you get stopped? Then you go down the rankings. Then you start losing. And then CTE is involved. Then the paychecks stop coming. Then you get vacated. Then you get cut, right? That's what a warrior's heart gets you if you don't know how to balance it out. See, Amanda, you can't knock her and say she's not a warrior because she knew how to use the warrior's heart when it got tough, right? But she also knew how to fight smart when it called for it. And that's what separates so-called greatest of all time. Even like Ali, Vander, those fighters, they had warrior's heart, but they also had fighter mindsets. A fighter mindset always goes in there to fight and conquer, and when it gets rough in there, you got to get dirty. You got to show up and say, hey, I'm not going anywhere. It's starting to get thick in here, but hey, I can fight through it. But you don't just run straight in there, right into the offense. Not if you want to really win and you want strategy. If you want to strategize, and really get the win, you don't just run right into the fire. Why run right into the fire if there's another path? You know what I mean? Like, again, I like the fact that Pena is tough and has his heart, but sometimes you got to say, yo, no, we got to clean this up. We got to clean this up if we want to keep this belt. And if we want the GOAT label, we got to prove it over and over again. Because running head first ain't going to work against a lot of these fighters. Running head first ain't going to work with Holly or Rocky or maybe even Aldana. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to work with all these different fighters. You're going to have to switch it up. Same like Amanda did. When she fight GDR, she didn't fight GDR the same way she fought Holly. She didn't fight Pena the same way she fought Holly. So it's just talk, but if she's really thinking that way, it's going to be hard for her to keep the belt. Like I said, at this point with Amanda gone, she can get the belt. She can get it, but no, I don't know if she can keep it. I don't know if she'll keep it like that. Let's see, Ms. Eileen said, I think the GOAT label is misleading. Athletes can be greatest only in their time. Too many variables. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you have too many variables, and you also got to think of time periods and in styles and eras. It's kind of hard to say like somebody's just the greatest across the map. You know what I mean? Like across, all time periods. I think every era's kind of have their fighter, Robot Chicken said, I was rooting for Vernon Forrest to beat him. Oh yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, I was too. Vernon could not do it. My man Shane Mosley did 2 times though. Shane Mosley whooped Mayorga 2 times. Vernon lost to him 2 times. Vernon could beat Shane though. That's crazy, right? That's what was wild about that. Running Rini, good evening. Said, I'll listen more later. Okay. James G said they say she's a fake champion just because she lost to Rose. Are you talking about Weili? Are they talking about? Yeah, Weili's not a fake champion. Everybody earned their, they earned that belt, and they fought some legit competition. No, they're not. Zama said Nunes is clear GOAT for now. Yeah, I don't do the GOAT talk, but I mean, when it comes down to one of the best resumes, I mean, she's the one with one of the best resumes. Ernest, what's good? What's up? James G said, is Grasso going to be put pound for pound as number 1 or Val? Probably Grasso, because they probably just going to move him up. Mastermind, what's up, man? He said Aaron want to fight Pena. Oof. I really don't think she should do that. Not like fearful of her like really like getting like obliterated or anything, but I think her path at 125 is much more clear. There's no guarantee. Like, I don't think they would give her that Pena fight because I don't think that would really sell. I don't think, Pena Aaron's going to really has like a nice ring to it. Maybe the Aaron it does because she's the youngest. She be going for youngest champion, but I think Aaron has more invested at 125 right now. Robot Chick said Julianne Payne is insanely foolish and fights clumsy, sloppy, and reckless. Yeah. And, she's acknowledged that too before. That's why I acknowledge it too, because I'm like, that's why she comes up short in these fights where she's reckless, because it's the warrior's heart, taking crazy chances, jumping over a cliff that you can't clear. You know what I mean? stepping into the fire when you know, stepping into the fire with gasoline drawers on, things like that, wearing a meat skirt around a den of lions. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like taking crazy risks like that. That's Julian's opinion. You know what I mean? Like she takes those type of risks, and she suffers from it, and she likes that type of fighting style. I think she's gonna take that to the end of her career, though. She's gonna take that to the end of her career, and if that's gonna be her character, I think it will be. I think she better just understand that it's not gonna go the way an Amanda career goes, or even like a Valentina career. But if she's happy with it, hey, we'll tune in, right? I mean, I like I said, when she talks like this, I just won't invest too much into it. But when people question it and say, when they question Amanda and say maybe she is scared of Pena, I'll be like, nah, I don't think so. Whose resume is still better? Amanda's, you know. So yeah, I just think recently with Amanda's retirement, it kind of shaking a lot of people up because I think Valentina had plans. She wanted her third fight. Pena wanted her third fight, and now they're all kind of upset with her. But that's the way it goes. Do it for you, and that's what I always say. Like these champions, don't don't stay longer. Don't outstay your welcome. Don't outstay your welcome. Leave. You gotta leave when you got all the chips. Like when you at the table winning at poker, and you got all everybody's money, and then you choose to leave, and then people get mad. You got, hey, y'all mad because y'all broke. I got all the money, right? Y'all won't be happy till I leave penniless. So no, you got to be like, hey, I'm done. I know when to fold, or I know when to step away when the getting is good. And you don't really see this. That's why it upsets people. Amanda's leaving. That's it. Pena needs to start her GOAT tale from here. Start your GOAT story from here. Take on the next opponent, hone her craft, win the belt again, become a 2-time champion, and start defending it. Start defending it. That's it. Will you ever match a man at this point? Not at this pace, not with just this type of talk that I'm bar none the best, or I am the GOAT. No, that's not going to work right now. You have to do something similar to her, maybe even better. Beat Valentina in a rematch in dominant fashion. Avenge that GDR loss when she comes back. Beat Holly Holm. Run through this division, get 6 or 7 title defenses, and then maybe we'll talk, right? I don't think she'll ever be double champion because they're probably gonna retire this belt. But yeah, that's what you got to do. James G said, who should Maverick fight now that she's out of the top 15? Maybe Montana De La Rosa or Mandy Bone. No, that's a little bit lower for her. I think Montana would be a good name for her. Montana's training with Macy Barber now. So yeah, Montana versus Miranda, that's a good fight. That'd be a good fight. Pena's the type to fly a plane with no gas. I like that one. Pena's the type of fly a plane with no gas. I'm gonna tag it right there. Telling you, man, she wear meat draws in a lion's den. She's a Pena. She can fly a plane with no gas. She'd be like, hey, we going. She'd be in Vegas. She'd be like, oh, we going down to Florida. We ain't got no gas. We'll make it. I'd be like, you can try, but I'm not. You fly that plane, Pena. I go fly with Antonina. She's a much skilled pilot. Oh goodness, man. Ephraim, what's up, man? I know I saw a comment I wanted to read. Oh yeah, he said outside of just signing new girls, what would you do to help pump up 135? Ooh, outside of signing new girls at this point, I think to build up 135, you probably would have to do a tough house with bantamweights. Outside of just signing new girls, you probably would have to two things. You probably have to sign. Well, no, of course you're already gonna sign a new girl. No, two things you would do, I think, is bring in a tough house. Bring in a tough house to promote the division, and also seek, some really, really, what's the word? Well, talent is what it is. You can still bring in talent, but you have to bring in some really potential star power to amp up 135. You got to bring in some more star power, do a tough show with the 135 division. And I think number 3, to build up bantamweight, I think you would probably have to start separating the girls that are bantamweights and featherweights. You need to take the division now and start saying, okay, whoever want to be 145ers, y'all become featherweights. Okay, whoever wants to be a bantamweight, y'all stay a bantamweight. Whoever can really truly make 145, 135, we're gonna separate it. Then we're gonna look at what we're left with. And then we say, okay, the new signees move up the rankings by default. I know people disagree with that, but that's probably how it would go. But then you would say, okay, then we got to do a tough house. We got to do a tough house that's coached by, some popular fighters, tough bantamweight division. And then you just got to seek out some or one or two star power, fighters with some star power to kind of revamp 135 again. Doesn't mean you got to bring in a Ronda Rousey again, but somebody kind of like that. Lolita, what's going on? Doesn't have to be that type of fighter, but somebody that's going to wake up the division again. BJ, what's up? Pena's the type of I read that. I said Pena and Valentino are always loud and salty towards Nunes. They're always going to be Nunes' daughters. Yeah, at this point, it's done. Y'all just got to move on, fight each other, make your own legacies, and that's it. Ian Baller said Pena's playing a character. Hard to believe she's not. Yeah, so some effect. I think she is playing a character, but I think with her being the fighter she is, that's really her. I really think she is I think she takes the person she is and makes it into a character based off of what she is, if that makes sense. Like, she really is rugged like that. She really does have an ego like that, but she lets the ego take it to another level of just delusion sometimes. Mastermind said there's a Russian Ronda in the roster now. Yeah, but so far she's kind of rubbing people the wrong way with missing weight already, But we'll see what she can do. Kelquist said Lamos Andrade would be interesting addition in 135. I think Lamos would be. Andrade, she's kind of been taking some hard losses. I think she'd be more beatable at 135. Lamos possibly could do it. James G said 135 is dead too. Atomweight would have more of a push. Atomweight got a lot of good fighters. I mean, Atomweight got Combate, Invicta FC, Ryzen. You got girls you can pick from everywhere. You got girls you can pick from everywhere pretty much. Like, I did an Atomweight show one time. I picked like 20, maybe like 20 girls. Combate got a lot of good fighters. GAP said, I don't think. Yeah, really. I don't think he's playing a character. She's been like this since Tough. Yeah, she was like that during Tough. Yeah, she was like that during Tough. 100%. Because I remember her and Rocky were up in the room talking, and like Rocky was giving Pena this look like, what is this girl talking about? You know? All right. So yeah, moving on from this talk about Pena, this promotion for her. I mean, she's always gonna have eyes looking at her. It's that WWE attitude, that keeps her alive. Let's look at this though, man. Miranda Maverick is facing some death threats, and I mean, this ain't the first time. This ain't the first time. She posted it up on IG, and I shared it, and she didn't show any of them, which I definitely commend her for. Don't give them people that type of shine. But yeah, Miranda has been dealing with it. Thing is, Miranda's not even champion. She's ranked 15. She's just trying to get up the ladder, and she's already getting death threats. So she said this: I received so many death threats telling me to commit suicide, kill myself, etc. In the last 2 days, it's insane. Just because we have a blue check by our name doesn't mean we're invincible. Because I ignore these clowns, but to those who struggle with what social media thinks of you, remember most keyboard warriors don't have much to show for their lives. Go after something with all that effort you have, regardless of the result. Know you put your all on the line. All right. And let me see. And to you pieces of crap who say hateful things, I hope you never experience the pain of having someone say or do the same to you. And see that she still had the niceness to say, I hope you never experience the pain of having someone say that to you. The people that are saying it, she said, hey, I wouldn't wish that on you. And that's a good person. Miranda's just being a good person with that. Like, she could come back and say the same thing, or wish the same on you. But what good is that? It's not going to do you any good, right? So she takes the adult way. But my thoughts on that, man, is like, nobody. My thoughts on this, though, is that I believe the ones that are sending these death threats are people who bet and they lost. Because it's the same as in the boxing world. Same as in the boxing world. You had fighters back in the day, even now, when people bet on them, boy, they be getting mad, or sometimes it almost comes to killing them. Like the old days, mafia days, and so on, right? Nowadays, it's more like keyboard warriors that are saying the most hateful, cruel things, online bullying, trying to cause these people to kill themselves. I remember y'all seeing with Jocelyn Edwards, right? People saying racist things, like telling her to kill herself and calling her the N-word. When Jocelyn Edwards got the controversial decision over Lucy Pudilova, I didn't agree with that decision, but I would not take it to that effect. I wouldn't take it there. They were calling Jocelyn Edwards the N-word and all of that, telling her to kill herself. Like, fans, what's wrong with you? Like I said, nobody told you to bet on these fighters. That's your fault if you bet your rent check or your child support or your food money or whatever. Nobody told you to bet on Miranda, because these aren't guarantees. Just like if you bet on Valentina to beat Grasso and you lost whatever it is, you can't come after Valentina. That's your own fault. That's what I'm saying. Like, I talk about the fight game and these fighters, but I'm not invested in these fighters like that. I enjoy it. I enjoy talking about it, but I don't live through these fighters. And what they do doesn't affect my everyday life. What this fighter does and when this fighter wins or this fighter loses, I enjoy watching them win, of course. But when they lose and I pick wrong, when it all comes down to it, they got to deal with it, not me. So I'm not mad at them. Why would I double or triple the pressure that they're feeling when they took the L? They're the one that get knocked out in there. How you imagine they feel? They already feel bad enough without having somebody send them death threats or wishing suicide on them. So yeah, people like that, gamblers and so on, like, it really is like a form of addiction. Like, they get to the point where they start acting like crackheads and just like everyday criminals. When you lose your money, you got to find some way to put that pain on somebody else. You know what I mean? I just don't understand. Just don't understand these people. They got to point the finger at somebody, and they point it at the fighter. Like, the fighter's not your race horse. They're doing this for them. They're doing it for entertainment, but Miranda's fighting to earn her check. All right? She's not fighting to earn your check. You want to bet? That's on you. That's a side thing for you. You supposed to just be watching the fight and enjoying it. But when she loses, how you think she feels, or any other fighter? There was another fighter that just got death threats too. What was his name? Dang, I can't remember. There's so many of them. Remember they sent death threats to Timothy Bradley when he got the decision over Manny Pacquiao. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, it's not that serious. Like, there's different levels. Like, the fans that come after me for giving my opinions on, let's see, Rose or Weili. Like, if people don't like my honest opinions on that, there's those type of emotional fans. But then there's the other type of fans that attack the fighters. They go in their DMs and wish death on them. Or, like I said, they talk trash about my opinions and call me names. I'm like, it ain't that serious. It's really not that serious. I'm like, why don't you just chill out? Like, you probably shouldn't be watching something like this if you can't like decipher the difference between your life and the fighter's life, and what's reality, your reality, and what entertainment is, So yeah, I just get sick of that sometimes. I'm like, that's the first thing that a fighter has to go on Instagram and read, or their social media, is somebody tell them to kill themselves. Why? Because you didn't get your pick. That's why when some people on here ask me, who do I think is going to win, or they want to pick for me, I put the disclaimer out and say, I don't know. Don't base your money or your paycheck off of my pick. All right. I'm just having fun with it. When I make picks, I'm just picking. Based off sometimes fans, who I'm a fan of. Hold on. Just a minute. StreamYard's acting weird. I can't see comments. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. StreamYard's being weird. Hold on. Y'all can still hear me, right? It really is being weird. Like, I can't see any of the comments. I might have to refresh this thing. Hold on. When I click on them, I can see them. Hold on. Ms. Eileen said, watch for the IPO stemming from the WWE UFC merger slated to be offered late this year. Ticker symbol TKO should do well. Thanks for all the good convo. Yeah, no problem. Okay, we're back. I5 said, Combo, you shouldn't give credit to Weili at all, or else people will hate you. Let us MMA fans do the job. I mean, even when I don't, and I give credit to Carla, like, for example, I give credit to Carla, people don't understand that. Like, they don't understand, like, that's not bashing another fighter. Like, if you give credit to another fighter, people think that you're hating that fighter. So fans are just warped in general. Inference, a whole lot of people lack emotional maturity. I got to remind myself a lot that a whole generation of younger people have only ever known talking out of pocket online with no filter. Yeah, that's true too. Like, there's a difference now because see, before when I was growing up, you you talk to people a lot face to face. Nowadays you can talk to people online and not having to see them face to face. You can talk any kind of way to them. Like even if you meet a celebrity before, you have to respect them face to face, right? You respect them face to face. But nowadays, doing everything from the comfort of your own home and not getting out to socialize, you can talk out of pocket now because it's like, hey, I'm at home. What are you gonna do? You're a million miles away, so I can talk whatever trash I want about especially when you're on IG and say Miranda's on IG. Okay, we both have I Instagram platforms, so I can talk any trash I want because you're here too. You know what I mean? And that's what's wrong with this generation too. Like there's no respect there. Like I said, there's always been that level, especially when it comes to greed, when it comes to money. People will take it out on you when they lose a bet, regardless. But taking it to that level of telling somebody to kill themselves because of that, nah, man, that's crazy. That's the insane part. Darby said he loved Carla ever since Tough. Oh yeah, I've always been I've always liked Carla since the Invicta days, man. Like I've been watching her since those Invicta days, and since she got the belt over there, I like not my top favorite fighter, but I was never like a hater of her like that, or never counted her out. I mean, certain styles, yeah, I could see beating her, but I never really, hate on her like that. Robot Chicken said, if you love the sport as a whole, you can't be biased. I see you as one of the most fair-minded channels out there. People hate honesty. Yeah, like I said, that's just how I see it. Like I have my fighters I'm a fan of. Y'all know. But I'm not gonna sit here and lie when somebody's doing something wrong or when a particular fighter talks out of pocket, or if they didn't do anything wrong, I'm gonna defend them, whether I like them or not. Like a Valentina, she's saying Amanda's not a good person. I'm like, who is she to judge? People might not think she's a good person with the way she approaches, especially she approaches with a heartless attitude, like to say, why do I have to be a good person to be a fighter in here? I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to fight. So Amanda probably thinks the same way. So you can't judge Amanda and say she's not a good person. So when Valentina says that, who are you to judge? You can't say Amanda's not a good person. I mean, do you know her personally? I don't know either one person, so I'm not going to go out and just say, oh, because she didn't give you a fight, she's a bad person. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy with Amanda. It's crazy with Amanda. Well, not Amanda, with Miranda's situation. Like, you'll see it time and time again. People always talk that type of trash. So I think for her, it'd be best to, continue to do what she's doing. And I think she just called it out, not because it's really bothering her, but just to say, hey, people have to do better. MMA fans need to do better. They do. High five says CSH. Well, no, Coach. I don't think Coach don't hate Whaley. I don't think Coach hates Whaley. I don't think it comes to an extent of hate. I think he looks at her more in a technical standpoint, and that's just how he expresses it, though. Like, I don't think Coach hates her personally. Like, he don't know her personally, hates her. He is being honest about how he feels on certain things, like her defense or her striking, how she might match up to Rose or Whaley, or I mean Rose or Lamos. I don't think he personally hates any of these fighters. Because, like he said before, there's too much going on to waste time hating any of these fighters. When that's how I see it. Me personally, I'm like, there's too much going on to waste my time hating somebody. And him as a coach, he's gonna be honest about how certain fighters approach fights, where they're improving, where they're not spending enough time to improve, just things like that. Darby said, I just love her resilience that years later she's still around. Things were so bad financially for a while back. She had to sell a Harley. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Carla been through some things now. And she got her baby on the way, getting married. Well, she is married. That's good for her. But yeah, I pretty much knew she was gonna win that tough house. I thought back then it was gonna be between her and JoJo or Rose. And she won it. But boy, Joanna took that belt, man. Joanna took that belt, boy. But yeah, like for the most part, I know people in here, they don't like for the most part, everybody in this chat, they don't send death threats, right? I hope not. Nobody in here sends death threats. But to the fans that do listen on the side, don't send death threats to these fighters. Like, it's not that serious. That's something I always come back to saying. It's not that serious. KelQuest said it's really ugly that some people have a demon of hate and slander in them. They/them need Jesus, period. Because all that hate ain't cute. Jesus saves. Amen to that, Kel. I mean, you speaking truth right there, man. And that's the thing too. Yeah, when you have, like, I don't want to go off on a big, I don't want to go off too far here, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, when people have the freedom to say what they want like that, they go crazy. Like, there's too much freedom in this world sometimes. Like, when you have too much freedom, you shy away from your higher power, You shy away from him. You start acting crazy, thinking you can do whatever you want. And that's how these people approach it. They wish death on people, say some crazy things. They start saying, oh, your life don't mean nothing. You kill yourself. Things like that. That's just a demon of hate, man. That's all it is. Good to have a believer like that, Kill. Shout out to Kill. I respect that. Robot, they are not real MMA fans. They don't appreciate the fighter's skills, but rarely condemn them, especially if that fighter beat their favorite fighters. Hey, I always appreciate just the fight game period, I appreciate the fight game period because it's like these fighters, they do a lot, they do a lot for our entertainment. And to me, if it's something I'm gonna waste my time doing, and I think I speak for a lot of people, they feel the same way, however everybody wants to speak on it, whether it be coach or whoever, I think even BJ, everybody has their passion for it, and it all comes from a good place. I don't think anybody really holds any hate over anybody. Like, to get on here and do videos is out of a passion. It's out of passion. It's out of a love for the sport. Even when people might disagree with a fighter, if you disagree with, say, like a Weili in the move she's making, or Rose or whoever, it's coming from more of a passionate place, not a hateful place. Because if it was a hate, quality would suffer. But I think when you're passionate about something, you're going to tell the truth. And sometimes the truth isn't always going to sound happy. The truth doesn't always sound pretty. It's not always going to sound accepting to people. So that's just another way to look at it. That's why when I talk about certain fighters, people get mad, but they can't say I'm wrong about certain things because they just don't want to hear the truth. Right. But yeah, we talked a lot about the fans, and I think that's just something we've had to address. But let's talk about. I'll probably cut this out so people can hear it later. Let's talk about the featherweight division, with the death of it, um, potential death of it. Dana White, he didn't say much, but he did say that probably. He said the answer is probably yes. Matter of fact, how did he say it? Hold on, let me see. Where is that article? Let's see. Oh, yeah. So Dana White said the answer is probably yes. I mean, I don't make these decisions right after a fight. She told me when she walked over to the side of the cage that she was retiring. So, yeah, I don't know, but it makes sense. I guess, yeah, to close the curtains on the featherweight division, he says it makes sense now. It's time to shut it down. He says it's time to shut it down. Now, with that being said, though, that's coming from him because he doesn't really see like a future in it. But with the women that are still here, what's going to be next for them? That's why I put Norma Dumont up here. What are BJ? Is BJ still around? Like, I need to ask him that question. Like, when fighters like Norma Dumont are around, even Chelsea Chandler, they fight next month. With fighters like that around, and with Dana White saying the division's about to go, shouldn't they be saying something right now? Like, shouldn't Norma be making some type of, shouldn't she be trying to make some type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Shouldn't she be trying to put some type of notice out right now, or expressing some type of interest that she wants that vacant belt? Has Norma Dumont done that on Twitter or anything? Let me see. Now, she saw both of them belts get left in the cage, right? So right now, Norma Dumont needs to start voicing her opinion on what this division needs. She should be saying it needs her, it needs Chelsea, it needs Macy, it needs all of them. You see, Aaron did. Right? Aaron, as soon as Nunes vacated, Aaron said, hey, I want to be the youngest champion. I want to fight for the 135-pound belt. She put it out there, right? She said, I want to fight for the belt. I want to fight for the bantamweight belt. So my thing is, as soon as Nunes put that belt down the cage, the featherweight division, Norma should have tweeted out and said, I'm fighting for that belt, Dana. Let me fight for that. Let some of these other girls fight for that belt. Because now Dana White is saying it's more than likely we're going to shut this division down. Probably. He's like, since she's retiring, it makes sense. It makes sense to retire this division. And so to me, it should be up to these girls to start speaking out now. Saying, hey, and like, hey, she's gone. Let us fight. Let us make a division now. And again, like, I know how fans feel about it. Fans feel like the division's dead, but for the girls that are there, they should be saying something. So the matchmakers and the UFC take the initiative to sign more girls or make it where they can fight for the belt and have some type of career in the UFC. Because if it's dead, that means they either go to 135 or they're gone. Or they fight catchweight fights the rest of their career. There's no belt for them. So to me, I'm just saying, like, I'm thinking that these girls need to speak up now. Hit Twitter, hit Instagram, start telling them, hey, keep it alive. Keep this division alive, because this is the weight class we want to be at. See, Darby said featherweight division was dead when Cyborg got cut. She was the only legitimate contender. UFC literally don't want to invest in featherweight. It's so obvious. Yeah, they don't. It's crazy. It's so weird that they don't. But they continue to make fights. Like, I wonder what the holdup is on it. Like, why wouldn't you want to? Why wouldn't you want to invest in this division when women can make the weight class and you get more knockouts? Per se, you get more knockouts somewhat you do. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. That's what I'm saying. Now is the time for Norma, Chason, Chandler, Josie and Nunes. I don't know. She might want to stay at 135. What's the other girl's name? Dos Santos. It's time for those girls to speak out and say, hey, keep this division alive. Again, even if we don't think it can thrive, if they say something, they'll take the initiative, I think. But it just doesn't seem like nobody's out there saying they want to fight for that belt. They want to be featherweights, but nobody's hitting Dana White in the head with that comment or that tweet saying, hey, let's fight for this belt. Hey, Amanda vacated it. Norma, where's the tweet at saying you want to fight for it? Did she say anything? It was just like, I want to fight Amanda for it at the time. I want to fight Amanda. Well, it's free now, so fight somebody. Maybe you and Chelsea. Maybe even if it wasn't for the belt yet, they could just say, hey, we want to keep this division alive and potentially fight for it. Kel said, what if they get Kayla Harrison, Julia Budd, Larissa Pacheco to join? I would take that. Especially Kayla. Like, if Kayla could make 135, I would take that at this point. It might liven it up a little bit. Julia Budd don't have that many years on her left out, I don't think. I think Julia Budd been around for a while. I think she's almost my age, I believe, right? I ain't making myself sound old. You know what I mean? Like, she's around my age range because she was fighting when I first really started getting the WMA. Yeah, Julia Budd is 39, so Julia Budd might not have too long in her. Kayla would be new. Pacheco would have a few years in her. So Larissa Pacheco, yeah, you could bring them type of fighters in because she's only 28. And yeah, if Kayla could make 145 consistently, then you could do something like that. But I think it's up to the girls right now that are there to say something. The ones that are there, they have to be saying something right now. Norma's 32 years old. She's in that prime area where she wants to go get a belt. She's 9-2. She's on a 2-fight win streak. You got to do something. Already said Kayla's going to Bellator. Julia Budd is done. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Julia Budd is kind of on a cusp in her career. Kayla going to Bellator though? That's interesting. I guess she's going 100%. Yeah, I haven't seen her speak out on anything though. With Nunes gone, Kayla needs Cyborg for her legacy. Yeah, that's the only route she can go now. And that's the only name at this point that'd be interested on Chris's resume. Chris beats pretty much everybody. I mean, Bellator's got like a top 7 now. They don't even have a top 10 featherweights. It's like top 6 or 7. They don't even have a full out featherweight division themselves, but at least they rank them. Though. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's where I'm at though with featherweights. Though, like, I've been talking about them over here for a minute on my channel, and that's the one thing. It doesn't seem like it really helps because the UFC doesn't really want to invest in them. But when it comes down to it, now that she's vacated the belt, Amanda, I think it's up to the fighters to speak out. But with that being said, I'm about to jump off here in a minute. Give me 1 second, y'all, because I got to plug something in. And then we got a few questions. Let's answer some questions. Y'all got some questions we can answer, then I'm going to get up out of here. Oh, yeah, we got Oh man, we got my girl Teresa Bleda and Gabriela Fernandez this weekend. We got them fighting. Oh man. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay, so yeah, we got okay, Robot Chicken said Bleda is his pick. Yeah, I'm kind of picking Bleda in that fight. They're actually going to be fighting similar styles that they lost to. You know, Gabriela Fernandez, she lost to somebody that was grappling and wrestling the crap out of her. And Teresa Bleda is fighting a striker again, so hopefully she doesn't get caught with any power shots because Gabriela Fernandez be throwing power shots. So Bleda got to maul. Get that fight to the ground and maul. UFC featherweights could have Home, Chason, GDR, Bud, Harrison, Pacheco, Zingano, McMahon, Cyborg, Chandler, Lab. I don't know. UFC just might get rid of the division. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, if they did 145 like that, there's a couple old fighters there, or a few, but I think it would be a good division. It would be exciting because everybody's experienced and the fights would still be experienced and exciting. Because, you know, Cyborg is she'll push a fight. GDR will push a fight. Chason's been in some good fights. Harrison's going to push fights. Pacheco, everybody's, whether they get knocked out or knocking somebody out, those are good fighters. GAB said all the featherweights should be hitting their managers up, start talking to the brass. I know, man. Like, if it ain't them, it should be the managers. Exactly. Like, if it ain't the fighters that are voicing something on Twitter or on IG saying, hey, Dana, I want to fight for that vacant belt. If it ain't them, it should be the managers. And I'll cut this part out of this stream too. So I cut it out the stream. So post it up as a segment because fighters got to say something. Managers got to say something. Because if they want to continue fighting on, and I want to see, I say that because I want to see these girls fight. I like featherweights because they be scoring knockouts. They be scoring finishes. I like the bigger fighters. You know, I like watching these type of fights. But right now, there's no direction. I'm not lying. There's no ranking. There's an open belt there. There's no investment. So it's like, somebody say something. Somebody say something. Feel like I've been one of the only channels that ever been saying, like, do something. Keep it alive. You know, everybody else going on the atom weight. I mean, I love the atom weights, but with the featherweight side, I want to see some action. I want to see something. Darby said, Ebos or Barber. I'm going with my girl Ebos. Ooh, man. If Ebos puts Barber on her back consistently, round after round, Ebos has the fight. I keep thinking Barber's going to land like a big shot, and Barber's clinch game could be some problems. But clinching up Ebos won't be easy because Ebos will trip and take her down. I kind of lean towards Ebos with that aspect, with the grappling. But that one part of me keeps thinking Barber's going to land a big shot. I think Barber has a little bit more precision than Arujo and she'll take more chances than Araujo. That's why I keep leaning towards Barber by finish, man. And again, Ebos's chin is stronger at that weight, 125, a little bit stronger. Man, that fight is next weekend too, ain't it? Oh, you know I'm gonna call that. Am I gonna call that fight? We'll see. I don't know if I'm off that day. That fight gonna be crazy though. GAP said, "Damn, I wanted to see 145 Nunes one last time. The 145 bricks he has a different." I did too, man. Like, and she said it too, man. Like before the Aldana fight, she was like, "I want to defend my 145-pound belt a couple times, or I'm gonna defend that belt next." And I was hoping we see that too, man, because featherweight Amanda is crazy. Featherweight Amanda is like Brick City. It's Brick City. Darby said, yeah, and Ebos likes the exchange. You better not do that for 15 minutes. Right. That's what I'm scared of, man. Like, Ebos exchange, it's a wrap. Barber has the equalizer. Barber does have that equalizer. I see Jasmine called out Barber and Casey O'Neill, so I might talk about that a little bit tomorrow or Friday. But yeah, thanks to everybody coming through. Feel like it has been a minute since I did one of these late night streams here. Or, my regular time stream, evening stream. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Always appreciate everybody in here, coming through with good conversation, good comments. And leave your thoughts in the chat. Leave your thoughts in the comment section, if you missed the stream. And I'll be back on probably maybe once early afternoon tomorrow. I will be on Friday. Ebos can be up 2 rounds and Barber goes berserk and finishes her in the third is a real scenario. I have no pick yet. Yeah, me either. I ain't picking yet. I gotta watch their last 3 fights. Because I still think Miranda beat Macy Barber too in that last fight. Of course, Miranda's got a better chin than Ebos, so. Kelsey, I think Amanda Nunes should end her career at UFC 300. She was the only champion to have their title for 100 pay-per-views. Hold the title for 100 pay-per-views, UFC 200, UFC 300. Yeah. Would that be a lot of cards, though? Still a long way off. And who knows if she could hold on to it. Lolita said tomorrow what time? Maybe like 5 p.m. Eastern time. Because that's going to be one on the go. If Zama said Ebos got it. Maybe 5 p.m. Eastern time, 5:15. Because it's going to be a short one. It's going to be in between transitions. But if I get on Friday, it should be around this time. Like 9 on Friday, 5 on Thursday, all Eastern time. Nunes is done. Her body hurts. It hurts to cut weight. Yeah, that's true. 35 years old. She's put her body through a lot. It's a wrap. That's it. But yeah, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't, y'all. And I'll give y'all my pick too for this fight. Bleda Fernandez for sure tomorrow. All right. Much love to everybody in the chat. I am out. Combo Breaker 99. Subscribe. Peace. Oh, hang on. Kill says she almost cried when she announced retirement. I enjoyed her so much. She did it all. Yeah, it was a surprise, though. Yeah, that was a surprise. I thought she might have had 1 or 2 more in her, but yeah, it was a surprise, though. It was a shocker to me, somewhat. Because I just got done doing a video, too, Kill, saying that Amanda is not thinking of retirement. And then, boom, she retires. All right, y'all.